Hello and welcome to Denmark and to Lake Basfair near Copenhagen for the International Canoe Federation's third Sprint World Cup of the 2015 season. 350 athletes from 32 nations are competing over the weekend. I'm Matthew Layton, and today a host of guests. We're starting off with Australian speeders Stephen Bird and Jesse Phillips. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of racing coming to you direct from just above the finishing tower. This is the last of the 3 World Cups, but we're expecting a lot of action today. Overcast, about 14-15 degrees, with a slight swirling headwind, we've been told, but let's see how the conditions will develop. So we're looking forward to the first races we're going to show you. This is going to be the K1 Women's 500 minutes. Canada, GB, Germany, and of course, look out for Lisa. Germany. Well, as you saw, truly international field. You see in your picture Yvonne Schering, who's been around for an awful lot of time. She's a world champion, so she knows how to handle all sorts of conditions here. In the bottom, you see the zigzag boat of Lisa Carrington. We saw her joking with you guys about half an hour ago, so she shows her state of mind. They're going to be on the blocks. It's 500 meters. It is an Olympic event, and it's the final. And let's see if they're going to take it away.
Yeah, look, we expect a fast start from Emily Fernald in the far lane in lane 1.
And as you see, I saw her at about 8 o'clock in the morning, just messing around on the water and looking fairly relaxed. But here we go. What amazing coloured boats everyone has.
Yeah, we've got a pink leopard in lane 3 in the form of Hayley Mason. And it looks like there's a few double-ups from the countries as well. Hayley Mason, Great Britain, and up against Rachel Cawthorne, Michelle Russell and Emily Fernald. A lot of the time these World Cups are used to solidify selection, so we could be seeing some internal battles going on here.
Look at lane number 9. She's only 18 years old, so a great future. She is a double world junior marathon champion. That is Tamara Takac from Hungary, but all eyes at the moment on Lisa Carrington, who looks like she's made her intentions clear from the off. Last week, clearly she did not compete in the 200 meters. She was serving her energy, but so far this season she's done 3 races, 3 golds.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going to change here today. She's in fantastic form and running the boat beautifully. Got her air warmers on, so she's comfortable out there and looking very comfortable amongst the field. Bit of a challenge coming from lane 7 in
like
Rachel Cawthorne. She did a really good job in the semi-final yesterday. She's obviously really working on her back end. You can see how powerful Lisa's leg drive is powering a stroke. She really connects the boat movement forward with that leg and catch. It's such a powerful catch compared to a lot of other paddlers.
Well, it's a beautiful natural lake setting here. They're coming up to the last 100 meters, and it looks like it's still a race. So we have Yvonne Schering at the top of your picture, Rachel Cawthorne at the bottom, and clearly in the middle, it's Lisa Carrington from New Zealand. Coming up to the last 30 meters, Lisa Carrington looks like she's going to take the victory, but Rachel Cawthorne in lane number 7 is really pushing it forwards. As we come over the line, it's Lisa Carrington takes it in 4, followed by Rachel Cawthorne and Yuzu, the Asian Games champion. We hadn't talked about her much, but she came through for, looks like a 3rd place.
Nice race from all the girls there. It seemed like that spread a little bit. These conditions may have affected some more than others. Lisa's fairly used to relatively cool conditions in New Zealand, so she once again has dominated this array of races, World Cup 1, 2 and 3. Very impressive in the K1 500.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to carry such good form across all 3 World Cups, 3 weekends on the trot is quite impressive to be so consistent. So she'll be very chuffed with that going into a long period now before Worlds to prepare.
One of the girls on the line in lane 8, Michelle Russell from Canada, she's held some fantastic form as well. Really, really fast out of the blocks and very smooth.
Confirmation of the results. Lisa Carrington takes the girl for New Zealand in 1:59. Rachel Cawthorne silver for Great Britain, and Yuzu for China takes the bronze. Racing thick and fast here, live from Copenhagen. Second event is the K2 Women 500 meter A final, and again we have some double ups here. It should be cracking racing. The Germans, the ones to look out for, they were looking very impressive in their semi-finals and heats, and of course we're looking at the Olympic champions today. That's in the first one, Jessica Walker and Rebecca Simon. Rebecca's very young, 18 years old. It's going to be interesting to see how she goes, but Jess Walker was 17 when she was in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, it's a relatively new pairing. We see the
Lani Belcher, Angela Hanna. Lani Belcher's on a winning streak at the moment. She won the 5,000 metres last week, and then she won the K2 200 of well. The Russians, it's the first time together, by the way. They're trying all sorts of experiments this season to see how things go.
Chinese in lane 5. Managed actually by a former head coach in Australia, Marty Marinov. So the Chinese are doing really well.
They've had a good season so far.
Yeah.
Indeed. And the local, Henrietta Hansen, usually a K1 specialist over 500 metres, but joining Emma Jorgensen for the K2 this weekend in front of a home crowd. They've come out to enjoy the show down here. There's a lot of locals out in their very warm weather gear, or cold weather gear.
That's a new picture. There's Jorgensen and Hansen. They have a slight age gap. I believe is it 14? Yes, 14 years difference, but it didn't stop them taking the K2 1000 gold in Moscow last year in the World Championships.
We saw them trying out a very unusual looking boat earlier in the week. Nello have come up with a new design. You'll see that porpoise looking reverse bow nose. Looks like they've gone back to the original boat, the Quattro.
So in lane 6, the white German hull coming out. There's 2 German hulls next to each other, the black and the white, and they'll head out the field. You can see that they're just squeezing away already.
I was speaking to them yesterday, and they said they're delighted to be back together again. Last year they tried their hardest but didn't really go together. There's Tina said she spent too long in the army, which is now out of, and Francisca was trying other things, but they said they're absolutely delighted to be with each other, and it looks like it's showing.
Totally. Matching headwear as well.
That was a friend. The little ladybirds also in their boat. They have Lily, which is a little bee, and they have Londinia, who is a little dragon. They're the lucky charms that they wear every time since London. So there you go.
Very cute. You can see there's 2 great British crews in this race. Lane 1 on the far side, and lane 3, Jessica Walker and Rebecca Simon. New pairing, only been together for a few months or less than a few months now. And obviously some really great form in Lani Belcher and Angela Hanna, having won the 200 last weekend in Duisburg. And they're showing relatively strong form in lane 3. I think they might have a decent back end to show, but it looks like the Chinese have taken it up to Francesca Weber and Tina Dietz.
Well, it's coming up to just less than 150 metres to go, and there are still some boats in it, but Germany are definitely saying, we want this race. They've led from the beginning. They're putting their young Germans in their place, but in lane number 5 of well, we do have China, who did well, and they took a gold in the K4 in the Asian Games, and the K2 500, the girls together took a silver. But it looks like at the bottom of your picture, Britons are coming back. No doubt about who's going to take the victory. It's going to be Germany, very close for second. It looks like it's going to be China, and the Great Britain, Lani Belcher and Angie Hanna have taken the bronze.
It looks like Denmark have taken the bronze.
The locals. Emma Jorgensen and Henrietta Hansen won that bronze. That was a nice finish from the locals. They had the locals on their side. Fantastic finish.
Yeah, they always finish well.
It's a real hard race, the 500. You're bound to hit the wall somewhere in the race. It's just about how you manage that and how you stay composed. So you see different crews using their strengths in different areas. Speed off the line. Some others have a great back end or ending to the race. But generally, to stay composed, keep your head still, keep the body moving, is really important in the 500.
Really tight finish for third, fourth and fifth there.
Good to see the locals getting on the podium.
Yeah. You can see from that timing there, there's generally the backseat paddler is just in front of the front seat paddler to take a little bit of pressure off the stroke.
Well, they're calling the result. Jeremy from China, and as you all said correctly, it's Denmark who came and took the bronze medal.
It's hard to tell here.
Belgium in 6, Great Britain in 7, Great Britain also in 8, and China in 9.
The lineup for the K1 men's 1,000 meter final, and you have some serious names here: Max Hoff, Adam van Koeverden, Rennie Holten-Poulsen, and a lot of pretenders who want to come and take their crown.
Well, there's certainly a lot of pretenders in very, very good form. Alexei Mokolov, was in fantastic form last week in Duisburg. Martin McDowell, his second A final for the World Cup Series. He's in some really great form coming out of New Zealand. There's been a little bit of turmoil in the 1,000 metre selection, and he hasn't got any team boat paddlers to join in the K2 or K4 this World Cup Series, but he's doing really well in the K1. We've got Adam on the far side of the course in lane 1, and there's Marty there, all in black, the stealthy black bomber from the Kiwi land, Alexei Mokolov.
Again, he won. We're talking about the Asian Games. It's very, very important. He actually won the Asian Games gold this last year. Max Hoff is last weekend in Duisburg. He was describing it as his perfect race. His 1,000, the tactical and everything. Lawrence Pannekoek, he's in stiff competition, but who's going to go for the Olympics? But we'll see the reason why in a couple of seconds. Mobet from Tunisia has been putting in some good form. Rennie Holten-Poulsen disappointed himself because he was ill last weekend. So in the 1,000 metres he struggled a bit, and in the 500 he pulled up. Arthur Peters, 18 years old, and he's going to be a real threat for the future against Lawrence Pannekoek and Alberto Ricchetti from Italy.
Yeah, Max is extremely good at waiting in the chambers. Hopefully, I think from what it looks like, he kind of enjoys having someone kind of next to him hitting it out. He waits in the chambers and then pulls the trigger at the end.
Well, last week he said his tactics were very much to go at about the halfway mark. He puts in really, really past the third quarter. He said there's no point in leaving to the end. That's too tiring.
Yeah, we were actually joking earlier this week. Because this is where Rennie Poulsen actually trains twice a day almost. So we were kind of wondering whether that's why he's got quite an unusual technique with quite low hands, and we were thinking it was probably because of all the wind on this lake. He's adapted to training on this lake, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But
we'll have to see. I'd say he was on penicillin last weekend, and hopefully, I spoke to him yesterday. He said he's better, but obviously these athletes are not going to really say they're not.
Exactly. Yeah.
It looks like Mokolov has hit the lead early stages, leading into the 300.
Well, he came 7th last weekend in Duisburg, and as you mentioned, he's got some.
Yeah, indeed. Adam's trying to hit it out. He's probably been a little lacking in form compared to what people would usually have seen him deliver, and probably trying to find a little bit himself today and really hit it out. I know he's an incredibly talented athlete.
Arthur Peters hitting the front almost now.
Well, the coaching staff in Belgium are saying there's going to be a real interesting next 12 months to see if Pannekoek, who is the main man, is overtaken by an 18-year-old.
Yeah, well, I think this will determine whether Lawrence paddles the K1 or K2 at the World